He never called it a retirement. Maybe that's why Nick Shirek's return after a 13-year break seems remarkable. But the Thompson, North Dakota native isn't just back, he's revamped his entire look. As Taylor Budge tells us in this week's My Place Hotels Inside Track, it's not just his switch to wingless racing that's different. This time, Shirek is going all in, and his switch to the number 5H is a big reason why.
You actually missed that one. That was over here, and you put a red ace down there and costed you a free move.
There's something special about Thursday nights at the Shirek house.
We're just gonna enjoy a little bit of cards before we go to bed and get a little rest for the big race tomorrow.
I'm gonna lay these down first, so.
It's a chance for Nick and his wife Jessie to spend time together.
Is it my turn to go?
I don't know, it's just kind of, you don't have to do a lot of thinking necessarily, but you kind of get to do something together.
Hold that, so I'm gonna pull one more.
A simple deck of cards has been the ace to their relationship the past 18 years.
If it's not playing cards for a few minutes, we definitely try to communicate before we go to bed for sure, and we try to make this a special time for both of us.
Tonight, it's their way to wind down after another busy day.
3 kids under 8, but it's fun. It's a good hectic.
Now the Shireks are all in on another adventure.
Deep down inside, I always thought if I can get some things squared away, maybe I can come back to this one day, and here we are now.
For the first time in 13 years, Nick Shirek is back in the driver's seat.
For me, it's family first, then it's my job, then if there's some extra time, we'll go racing.
All for 5H.
What has HUD taught me? He has taught me to not give up.
Nick found his passion at the track 2 decades ago, alongside his brother Chris.
My brother and I were just kids when we got into sprint cars when he was 14, I was 11. That was when my old man bought our first race car.
As expenses started to pile up for the family working to keep 2 cars on the track, Nick took a step back to let Chris keep his foot on the gas and focused on building his career at Rydell, a job he loved, but it ultimately took him away from racing altogether.
I never ever did say that it was anything about retirement from racing because deep down inside, I always just thought that there would be a time that maybe we'd come back.
It was an urge that he fought for 13 years.
I tried really hard to stay away from racing. Flow Sports, Dirt Vision, all the different subscriptions that you can have to like watch races whenever you want. I canceled all that stuff. I just was like trying to do everything I could to not have any focus on it.
I think he was trying to mask something that was deep down and thinking that if there was nothing to see or whatever, that it would go away.
Then, this past January, Nick was ready to take the chance, betting it all on his return.
This gentleman out of Twin Valley, Minnesota had this roller. He's like, but other than this car, he goes, I do have another frame. I was visiting with Jess a little bit and I said, you know, honey, maybe I'll buy this frame from this guy and then as a hobby, over the course of a couple years, I'll just piece it together and then maybe in a few years we'll race. I think half a day went by or something and he sent me a message. He goes, well, can you just take everything? I was like, oh, because I knew, you know, it's like I knew if I said yes, I'll take everything, that like, here we go, right?
I think he pitched that and maybe 2 weeks later, we were on our way to Mayville to get a motor. So I was like, okay, that's when I knew that this isn't just gonna be a little hobby, that he wanted to definitely get back into it.
This wasn't just a comeback. It was an entirely different car with new challenges.
But there's so many special tools, jacks, jack stands, wheel wrenches, all these special fuel tools, you name it. And I'm like, holy, we sold all that stuff and you don't really think about that when you're trying to build something back up. Yeah, after hot laps maybe.
More importantly, this return comes during a new chapter in Nick's life.
When you double down, it's like you're going all in. This is the second time I'm giving this a shot, so it's like double the second time, and I'm kind of all in. I want to do it, and I want to kick some butt this time.
Nick wears the hat of general manager, wingless sprint car driver, but his proudest title?
Hi, guys.
Dad.
Oh, did you get a mask, Cam?
Bo, Cam, and Hudson.
Hey, dude.
Not only Nick's inspiration, but reason for more.
I said, well, what number do you think Daddy should be? And Cam, my middle boy, goes, 5, be number 5.
It's not just the number, but the letter beside the 5 that holds this family together.
So 5H is Hudson, and for obvious reasons, Hud's gonna have his name on the car. Gonna go in the trailer for a minute, bud?
Yeah.
In 2015, Nick and Jesse's first son, Hudson, was born with Down syndrome.
He's been the light of Jesse's in my life, obviously since day one, and kind of led the path for everything. But Hudson will hold a special place in everybody's heart that he comes in contact with. And me, I want to make sure he gets the spotlight that he deserves. And if that's a little number H next to the 5, that I know that's him, that's great.
Hudson's smile, infectious. His determination, unmatched.
Are you ready for Daddy?
But if he can teach me and our family that you can do things and you can be good at them and you can go hard and figure it out, then damn it, that's what I'm gonna do too.
I mean, everything revolves around HUD. So, making sure that, he might not have the same opportunity as our other boys to actually race, but to make sure that he can still be involved, if it be through, 5H for Hudson, or, finding ways that he can still be involved and do all of the things to, make it a one family unit.
So when Nick takes the track, he's not just racing for himself, but for the ace in his heart.
Look, Hud's waving to Daddy.
When I raced back in the day, it's not that I didn't race to win or anything like that, it's just that it was very challenging and very hard. Now that I'm putting this together, like I have sights and goals that I want to win some races, and I'm gonna do it until I do that for sure. Oh, that's a good one that you laid down there.
Success isn't built on the number of wins or trophies in the garage. For Nick,
I'm getting some cards here.
I know.
it's the journey.
We're trying. I'm certainly nothing special, but I'm definitely having a good time, and it feels good to be competitive.
He is, so focused, and when he gets a passion and finds something that he really wants to do, he'll complete it.
Whether or not he earns a trip to victory lane, there are still plenty of W's to take away from this experience. And if Nick ever forgets that, all he has to do is look up and remember the letter next to the 5 on his tail tank.
If he can be determined and figure something out and do it with a smile on his face and not get too frustrated, then we can all learn a little bit from that.
The biggest selling point for the Shireks and Nick's return is that this is a hobby league, meaning that drivers don't race for points. Nick will race about a dozen times throughout the summer and already has multiple finishes in the top 5.